Told me something about you that I didn't want to know. Look me right in the eye and then you placed your head on my shoulder. This position that you put me in, you're on a mission to take my world from around me. Wide awake, I worry my brain. Turn over, turn over, turn over. Waiting, anticipating. Girl, come on, make up your mind. The night of passion became a nightmare. When the flood arrived, I realized what a fool I've been. You don't even know me, so how could you love me? Let alone care for this someone a stranger. Forget about the life that I dreamed of. Turn over, turn over, turn over. Waiting, anticipating. Girl, come on, make up your mind. Repercussions and consequences. Should've known better. Wish I never met her. True to the letter, I'll never forget her. Waiting, anticipating. Girl, come on, make up your mind.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope you guys have had a good week and that your weekend has started as well as it can do. So now here in the UK, you might have gathered that things were quite warm. On the last live stream, obviously Tuesday night, I said it was quite warm. We had the air conditioning out, and then on Wednesday it was definitely quite warm again. I think maybe in the low 30s degrees centigrade, and then on Thursday it was 38, over 38 degrees, 38.1 technically. And for those people that use Fahrenheit, that's 100.4. So yeah, our fifth heat wave definitely was a heat wave. So in the England houses, we're not designed for that. It's like our houses are covered in, like, I don't know, wool. It's insulation that we've got in between the walls, because it's normally, not very hot here in the summer. It's usually quite warm, but not ridiculous. And then our houses are designed to keep the heat in. So when it's 38.1 degrees Celsius outside, it's generally going to be hotter inside, because the house is supposed to be keeping all that warm air in. So yeah, a bit of a struggle. So that was Thursday. Then thankfully things started to cool off on Friday. So yesterday there was 36, so it's 2 degrees less. So yeah, things just absolutely crazy. And I am lucky in that I've got the air conditioning that I can just basically sit in front of, while I'm here doing things on the computer and editing and organizing. It means that I can just have the air conditioning kind of blowing at me. But what is interesting is when it's about 38 degrees or a little bit warmer than that, if you haven't got air conditioning, it's amazing how what is usually cool air that feels like air conditioning, it now feels like it's moderately warm. Even though it's got to be the same, it's the same machine doing the same job, but obviously maybe by the time it gets to you, it's still warmed up a bit. So yeah, crazy temperatures, which is a little bit frustrating. And thankfully, yesterday it was 36, but then at night time it's 25 degrees, which is still, I think, hotter than our normal summer at night time. And now it's, I think, maybe 20 degrees or a bit above. But yeah, the problem is that we've had the day's worth of building up the heat, so then the heat stays in our houses here in England. So yeah, a bit of a shame, but I do have the air conditioning on, so we are okay. And it does feel cool now, so it means that the temperature's down enough so that you can feel the effect of the air conditioning, which is good. Anyway, let's jump into taking a look at my patrons, because they make this all possible. You know who you are. I always say they're the foundation of everything that I do, and yeah, they allow the live streams to happen and everything that I do on this channel, but also what I do on the Authentic Vocal channel. And before I jump into that, let's get into, first of all, the lights goal for tonight, because we are going to be aiming for, actually, what I was going to do is, even though I just started talking straight away, I was going to check the levels of my microphone to make sure it wasn't too loud. Hopefully it's not. I'm just checking the levels there. So yeah, before we get into that Authentic Vocal thing, we are looking for 350 likes for tonight to then bust out the guitar and have a fill jam. And it's going to be fill jam number 344. So if you guys can hit the thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. And we'll see how we get on with that. And let's get the likeometer up on screen, because we are at 170 so far. So thank you everyone for doing that so far, hitting the thumbs up. Right, the other thing that we get up on screen is the donations tab, because you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. I think for those people that do donate, obviously every donation is massively appreciated, but I think it's important that you know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below. But yeah, just watching is great. Now, moving on to this, I tell you what, we'll get into the Authentic Vocal thing, but I'm going to make a mental note to talk about the eclipse that happened. I tell you what, we'll jump straight into that. So the eclipse happened, and I did say in the last live stream that I had a master plan, that where we are further down in the UK, they said it was, I think, like 7:13 or something like that, 13 minutes past 7, that the eclipse would happen. So I had my camera ready and I was just watching it through my camera, and I was waiting for something to happen. And I guess things maybe looked like it wasn't quite as bright, but not really noticeable. I don't think if I were looking out for an eclipse, then I might have noticed that. I think, oh well, maybe it's changed a little bit. But then if I was just going about my daily business, I wouldn't have noticed the eclipse at all. So I was a bit disappointed. I thought it was going to be something quite dramatic, and that I'd at least be able to see because they said it was going to be a 95% eclipse. And in my mind, that meant that the sun would have been 95% covered by the moon. That's how I worked it out. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe I've got the definitions. Oh, thumbs up. Spoiler alert. Is it in tomorrow night's video? It might be. I was doing an analysis video, and during the edit, which I've been trying to get through today, I noticed that the thumbs up came up on the screen while I was talking, and I don't know what sets it off, because it's definitely not me doing a thumbs up. It's something else. So yeah, because I'm on half of the screen, you might not be able to see it very well in the analysis video, but yeah, it definitely got triggered there, which reminds me I should probably turn it. I'll tell you what, I'll keep it on for the live streams, but I'll turn it off, or try to remember to turn it off when I'm recording videos. So yeah, the eclipse was really disappointing, because I was watching it on TV, and on TV it looked like an eclipse, and I thought, why didn't that happen where I was? There's absolutely no change, and I couldn't see any of the moon covering over any of the sun. So yeah, a bit of a shame. But I mean, maybe if you had on the special glasses, you'd be able to, maybe, because the sun's so bright, even if it's covered by 95%, is it still as bright as... I'd like to think that, well, there surely would be some kind of darkness, because you're only left with 5% of the light from the sun. So yeah, I said to my dad that it's lucky that it was free, because I'd demand my money back for that, because they were billing it as a 95% eclipse. And they did show on the news in Spain where it was properly in front of the sun. So yeah, I didn't get to see that, unfortunately. But at least I attempted to see it. It just didn't really make any difference. And I definitely wouldn't have noticed if I was just not looking out for it. It just would have seemed like a normal day. Right. Anyway, that's the eclipse dealt with. And getting into the authentic vocal thing, because we have some news with the @officialauthenticvocal YouTube channel. Over there, I've said on previous live streams that we're trying to get 10,000 hours of watch time, and you've got to do that within a 365-day period. It doesn't really matter when that is. It doesn't have to be the beginning of the year to the end of the year. But then I saw something where they're updating the terms and conditions, or the policy on videos and shorts videos, and the way that they're monetized. And as of next year, maybe January or February, they're going to be changing the way that it works, the way that you become monetized, and how many views you've got to get, how many watch hours you've got to get. And I think they're changing it to maybe 8,000 or 10,000 watch hours in the year. And I thought it was 10,000 already anyway, so I got that massively wrong. But they're going to be changing it to that. But at the moment, it's 4,000 hours. So because I've had this, I don't know, number of 10,000 in my head, I thought, oh, well, we've still got... I knew that we're only over 5,000, so I thought, oh, we've got some some views to try and get in the near future to try and qualify to become monetized. And I did get a message, because I checked, realizing, oh, well, it's 4,000. Let me check what's going on, and let me see if I can get this up on screen. I don't know whether it will show. There we have it. It's a little bit small on the screen, but that says Authentic Vocal. You are now a YouTube partner. Welcome to the YouTube Partner Program. As a YouTube partner, you can monetize your videos, shorts, and live streams. Get support via chat or email. Let's go! And obviously you click on that to then go somewhere to find out about it. So why is this important? It means that, first of all, this channel, as I always say, is swimming against the tide on YouTube, because it is featuring things that are, fully real with humans actually performing live without any lip syncing or miming or auto tune live. There's no AI, so it's going against what a lot of videos are like on YouTube, and actually how YouTube and record labels make a hell of a lot of money by people not knowing what they're watching. So I mean, first of all, it's great that it's monetized, because it's now in that bracket of other channels that might be, generating revenue with not really telling you what's going on. And actually, I think it's more likely the other way around, that they don't really want you to know what's going on, but they're making a lot of ad revenue from it. And why is this important? It means that every performance video on Authentic Vocal, the ad revenue goes to the owners of the copyright for that particular song. So it means that, for example, the last 3 videos from BBC Introducing in Sussex and Surrey that I've featured, I can already see that those have the copyright claim tag on there, which means that those videos, if people go and watch them, they will be generating ad revenue for the songwriters, for the band, for the artist. So that's what's great. Obviously, in a perfect world, I'd tell everyone to go over there and subscribe and just watch the videos, because you are generating income just by watching for the genuine, authentic artists that are there. So we'll see what happens with it. But obviously, I'm doing the Wings of Pegasus channel at the same time as well, so I'm juggling 2 things, and this is why it's taking me a little bit longer to answer the messages over on the Wings of Pegasus Patreon page, but I do still answer those, by the way. It just takes a little bit longer for me to get through it, because I've really been gearing towards this, because I thought it'd be great if we could monetize or reach that amount of hours of videos being watched, so that that other channel now has the potential to pay artists that are being featured on it. So as for getting the word out, it's like I said, it's more difficult with that channel, because I don't think it gets pushed as much as other channels because of the nature of what I'm featuring. But it's definitely a good step, a step in the right direction. All we need now is a few million people to subscribe, and then once you get a few million people watching performances, then that means the artists and bands will be making a nice amount of money from it. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, but good start. It is good to actually get to that point, because I thought maybe if we could do it by Christmas, that'd be great. So the fact that we're already there, I'll continue to upload videos to that channel, including the previous analysis videos that I've done that are genuine performances. And some people that do ask me on the Wings of Pegasus channel, they say, oh, do you have a place where you've just got the authentic performances, rather than looking at something that's lip synced or mimed or auto tuned? And I do say that head over to Authentic Vocal, because I will be adding all of the authentic performances there. So you'll have a database of all of those, but also adding performances as and when I can for unsigned bands and artists. And I do have more performances from BBC Introducing in Sussex and Surrey that I'll be uploading as well. Now, the other thing about that is, because this is now monetized, I'm wondering whether it's just better to get the videos up, and this is just me thinking out loud, just get the videos up on Authentic Vocal without doing like an analysis video of it, because I've done that previously where I'm pointing out things about the vocals and the playing, and obviously that takes a lot longer to make as a video, and I don't know whether necessarily that gets more views or would get more views than just listening to an authentic vocal performance. I think what I can do minimally is isolate vocals, run them through pitch monitoring software so we can have a representation of that on the screen while the performance is going on. But yeah, it's just whether, obviously my I don't know, my tendency is to think, well, if it's now monetized, why don't we just get all the performances up there so that bands and artists can start earning straight away? But then you've got the balance of, but you want an audience to watch it so that they get as much revenue as possible. And what kind of upload would generate more viewing figures? Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, good start. We are there. And by the way, if you're not subscribed to @official authentic vocal on YouTube, then yeah, you can head over there and subscribe, hit the notification bell, because it really does help the videos to get out there. And if you want to get involved directly with supporting the movement for genuine performances and supporting that channel and the artists and the bands that are going to be appearing on that channel and already have, then you can support it at patreon.com/authentic vocal. And yeah, I'm just looking at really doing everything the same ways that that I do here on Wings of Pegasus, because over there it's just a set level of support. So sometimes on Patreon there are different levels to it, but I've just set it at one level so that if people want to support it, then yeah, they can do for a few dollars a month. And yeah, it just helps me to keep everything going. And yeah, I'll be adding more performances in the future, but obviously with that particular channel, it's not something that I'm looking at myself trying to get loads of ad revenue for a separate channel that I've got. It's more about just the artists, the music, and yeah, the bands that I'm featuring over there. And it's not, for me, I just had this image of, imagine me featuring like an unsigned band or artist from, Sussex, and they've appeared on the BBC Introducing, and they own their song, they own their publishing rights, so that when I upload the video to Authentic Vocal, then I get the copyright claim notice saying that this is owned by that artist and band, so they'll be taking the ad revenue. And I was just imagining disputing the copyright claim. Imagine doing that. I mean, I say imagine doing that. I'm sure some people would do that. I said, well, no, I want to earn all the money for these videos. But yeah, that's not the point. The Authentic Vocal thing is all about shining a light where it should be, so that people get the appreciation and the respect that I think they deserve for doing everything fully live, and as well making a little bit of money as on the side has always got to be a positive. So yeah, that's what that's about. Obviously it's not for me, but the patreon.com/authentic vocal, that is something that if you want to support me trying to get the Authentic Vocal name and logo out there, then you can support it over there. And thank you guys to those of you that have already kind of signed up over there and supporting Authentic Vocal, because hopefully we can turn it into something that is not just me on YouTube and making a channel for it. Hopefully we can roll it out to, I say mainstream media, but I mean, even working with the BBC Introducing is a great first step, but then rolling it out to mainstream media would be great. And it would be great to have a place on YouTube, and that could be it, Authentic Vocal, the channel where we get performances that are for Authentic Vocal, so that we know they're absolutely genuine. Because there are a lot of channels on YouTube, but none of them, and I know this for a fact, none of them are independently verified to know exactly what's going on. So that's what I would like to do in the future when I say about getting into mainstream media and potentially performances that are covered, either at awards shows or even in like interview shows. Now they'll have a band that come on and perform live, and they're talking about their new single or whatever. It'd be great for people to know who's actually performing live or who's not performing live, and that's why I designed and registered the Authentic Vocal logo as a registered trademark, so that it does have the potential to be added to all kinds of different broadcasts. So we'll see what happens in the future. But as I said, good start, and thank you for all of the support over there. Right, now I can see that we have 254 likes. That means we're looking for 96 more people to hit the thumbs up in order to bust out the guitar, have a jam at the end of the live stream. And Kevin says, authentic vocal is really a service. Paying for a service is okay, as it helps artists, especially with the authentic vocal verification logo with the smiley face. So thank you for that. I'm just thinking about, obviously it's trying to get your foot in the door to different organizations and even different events. I was thinking it would be great to, and the problem that I have with this is having time. It's like I need an extra day or two of the week to be able to focus on these different ideas that I have. But just getting your foot in the door with particular events where, I think it would be great, even let's say for example at a festival where at the moment there's a BBC introducing stage, and that's at Glastonbury, and BBC Introducing is who I work with and collaborating with at the moment with authentic vocal, some of the performances over on the YouTube channel. So you think, well, it would be great to have the authentic vocal logo on performances at festivals so people know that they are live. And I know that some people say, but every live performance at a festival is live. Unfortunately, it isn't. This is what people don't realize, that you can be, and unfortunately this is for Glastonbury I'm talking about, but also every other huge festival in the UK, there are bands and artists who are either not playing live their instruments, or they are lip syncing or miming live. But it's exactly the same as for the audience when their favourite band perform, who might have been doing it all live, and then they go off, the next band that come on might be lip syncing, but it's all at obviously the same volume, and nobody's really aware that that's going on. And then that band leave, the next band who come on might be doing it fully live, or they might not be playing their instruments and there's a live vocal. So anyway, it would be great just for people to know, so that when you don't see the logo, there's the thought process that they're not doing this live, whereas the band that were on before them were doing it live. So I know the problem, and this is the huge problem that we're going to have, is that bands and artists are going to say, we don't want everyone to, and record labels will say, we don't want everyone to know that we weren't doing it live and the other band before us were. That's the problem. So it is going to have to be a case of getting the event on board and say, look, you could be the first ever event to have the performances independently verified so people know what's live and what isn't. But then it's the artists, because record labels are so, precious about not wanting people to know what's going on. And we've seen it. I've done analysis videos where there've been, festival performances and it hasn't been a live vocal, or it's got a lead vocal on the backing track, but it's not really backing. And even for headline performers, so everyone's really going there to watch that performer, and they don't know that it's not live. So, and I am still talking about Glastonbury and huge festivals. And I always say in my videos that the problem is nobody knows what they're listening to anymore. So, when people say, I loved this person's performance at Glastonbury, the vocals were amazing, it's like, there's a reason why the vocals were amazing. It's because the person wasn't singing. It was just either the studio vocal or another pre-recorded vocal to be lip-synced or mimed to. But really is a worldwide problem with performances all over the place. And this is the whole point of starting Authentic Vocal and hopefully getting out there a little bit more. I think my next port of call is probably going to be pursuing the BBC side of things, because I mean the only thing is that I've already done a video on, actually a couple of videos on the BBC, or at least a production company that recorded a music program called Songs of Praise that then the BBC obviously show, and I did an analysis video of that showing that it wasn't a live performance, even though it was billed as a live performance. And maybe this will, I don't know, be a positive for myself, because in the BBC, or on the BBC, they billed it as a live performance, but they then made a statement after, and this is what was crazy, that my analysis video made national news, and the BBC then had to make a statement, and the production company had to make a statement because they were approached by the newspaper that was reporting on my video. And yeah, it's the first time that I've had the actual production company come out and say, oh yeah, it was not live, it was a pre-recorded vocal. Actually, it was the studio version of the track, and we had to do it, I think, because they said for logistical reasons or something, which didn't make sense because there were other performers who were actually singing live on the same show. But anyway, it then meant that for the BBC, when they gave their comment, they said they had no idea that it wasn't live. And when I say it might be a positive for me, because I could say, well, there's your proof that you've got no idea what you're showing, and you've written it down as live, and you're the BBC. It's something that you are promoting, saying this is a live performance, and say, oh no, it's not live actually. And then the BBC say, oh well, we didn't know. It's like, well, you can't write that it's live if you don't know that it's live. So it might be something where I have to argue my case, because the BBC, because BBC Introducing is just on the radio at the moment, but to actually kind of now push it into the TV side of things, the BBC would have to, I don't know, say to me or accept that they don't really know what they're showing, and they need someone to come in and verify that what they're saying is true. And I've got that evidence. I've got it in national news that they're promoting something incorrectly. So I think, and I know that people say, oh, the BBC can't be trusted, talking about the TV side of things, but I think, well, what better place to start than a place where they, or at least some people say, oh, they can't be trusted. And then I think, but if I can get my foot in the door there, I'm going to make sure that they are saying everything as it should be. And it would definitely be, I think, in some people's views, maybe turning over a new leaf, because you guys know from my channel that I'm not going to say that something is live when it isn't live. It will absolutely have to be live. And I'd be doing my analysis on every performance as I normally do on the channel. And if needs be, I will be there looking at the desk, looking at the band setup, making sure everything is as it should be, and not running through a laptop live with Melodyne and checking their, the channels in Logic Pro 10 or whatever they might be using. I'm going to be checking those effects chains to see exactly what's being used. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I'm hoping that I can maybe use a bit of leverage from the BBC Introducing collaboration to then work a way in, either with BBC Introducing in Sussex and Surrey, to kind of push the case for it into TV, because that would be amazing if we could do that. I think it would fundamentally change the music industry, because imagine if one channel put the logo up on the screen, people are going to ask, what does that mean? And that's all we need, is for people to ask, what does that logo mean? Because then they will look it up, and people might know. They say, oh, that means that what you're hearing is actually what it looks like. And people say, oh, well, what do you mean it's what it looks like? Surely everything's what it looks like. You say, well, no, that's the whole point. So, Dwayne says it would be like someone taking their nephew out for pizza after their winning baseball game and ordering pizza. They get a picture of a pizza instead. They'd feel cheated. So, yeah, thank you for that. And I think with the general public, a lot of people would just like to know. I don't think that they might not have anything against lip syncing or miming or post-pitch correcting performances or using auto-tune live, but I think just wanting to know is a normal thing for anybody who's watching something, that you want to make sure that what you're watching is what you are actually watching and not giving credit potentially for something that wasn't what it appeared to be. So yeah, I mean, talk about music, obviously it's happening all over the place, but it would be great to just tell people what's going on. Obviously there's potentially a problem with that because record labels don't want people to know what's going on, but imagine a world where the genuine artists who are doing it fully live at least get a bit of recognition for that, because as I say in my analysis videos, when you're watching two performances, and people do this online all the time, they say, oh, this performance was so much better than that performance, so I prefer this band, and they're talking about a performance that wasn't live. It was either the studio recording or another vocal that's lip synced or mimed to, so they're now kind of throwing out the actual live performers who did it live. So you think, well, yeah, we've got to start, I think, at least appreciating what we're watching. So great news that we are now monetized over on Authentic Vocal. Obviously, we're at, I think, maybe 8,000 subscribers or just over. So yeah, it is great that we are. I might actually be able to check that on my phone to see how many subscribers we do have, but I mean that's a great number anyway to begin with. So yeah, I know that hopefully 8,240. So yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, I know that hopefully that the future is bright, and yeah, people can go and subscribe over there. And if there are any videos that pique your interest, then yeah, you can start to watch those and look out for the live performances as well. So yeah, we can start generating a little bit of ad revenue. I mean, it might not be a lot to begin with. It might be, a few pence or a few pounds, but it's more about watching the videos and building up that watch time so that some of the videos might then get suggested by YouTube. Because once that happens, then it's getting out there to more people than are actually subscribed. So yeah, fingers crossed that we can do that. So anyway, right, there is a cover video vote going on at the moment at the bottom of the live chat room, and I did see somebody comment saying that they weren't tech savvy and they didn't know what I was talking about. But at the bottom of the live chat room, you would have to be watching this live, I guess. So it is now 42 minutes past 11 and in the evening here in the UK. So you'd have to be watching this live to be able to vote for the cover video. It's not something that you can do if you're watching this on catch up. So Don't Slow Down has 50% of the vote, and it's up against Johnny Be Good, the Back to the Future version, and it's going to be my version of the Back to the Future version. So really close. And hang on, Johnny Be Good, did it just change? And now it's Don't Slow Down. So we are back and forth between these two cover videos. We'll wait and see which one wins out. I was going to say at the end of the live stream, but maybe in just under 20 minutes time. And it keeps on changing. So yeah, have your vote in the live chat room at the bottom of the live chat room for tonight's cover video. We're looking for 48 more people to hit the thumbs up in the live chat room as well. If you could do that, would be massively appreciated, because then we get to bust out the guitar, have a jam at the end of the live stream. Now let me get rid of the lycometer because I'm just going to check that we are... Oh, we have had a few donations in the super chat window. So thank you for this, Orlando. He's donated $2 and says, nice t-shirt. Hit that like button with thumbs up. So thank you. Yeah, we've got the Goonies. And it says, never say die. And I don't know if you can see it. It's like Astoria, Oregon, is it? It's too small for me to see on the screen and see on myself, but I think that's where it is. At least, yeah, I know it's Astoria, but I'm not sure of the actual place where Astoria is. But pretty sure it's Oregon. Now, I do have 2 Goonies t-shirts. The other one says, I think it does say never say die on it somewhere, but yeah, it says Goonies Bike Club or something like that, or maybe Astoria Bike Club. I'm not sure, but I have to check it. So yeah, they're very similar t-shirts. They just have slightly different printing at the bottom, really. So there's a t-shirt chat for tonight. Have we done hair chat in a while? I don't think we have. Tonight's hair update is that I've got a bit of hair here that's trying to curl into my eye, and I keep on having to push it out of my eye, so it's really annoying. And my hair's all trying to curl the same way. This bit I've had to push out of my eyes because it's straight, but this bit is curling. So I can... I say I can. It's just fallen as a fringe where it has done. But yeah, I don't know why this is straight and why that's curly. It just is what it is. There's no rhyme or reason to my hair as to what it does and when it does. And it'll always do the most random thing. Probably before a live stream or before I'm going to record a video. It's just the way it is. So, thank you, Jennifer, as well, who has donated $7. And the message is, hi, Phil. Welcome to weather we get in California in the summer. Did you see the eclipse? Take care. So, yeah, covered the eclipse. And, yeah, the weather... The thing is, I think in places that are very hot, you know, if you're in Las Vegas, for example, and they say, oh, we had, 38 degrees or 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I think in the places like Las Vegas and maybe California as well, we have a slightly different expectation here in the UK as to other places like that who might be used to those temperatures. Here, this is the thing that Melody Rock says Rocky is facing the wrong way. Let's sort that out straight away. There we go. Anyway, here in the UK, we are used to maybe 24 degrees. Actually, I can remember it being 24 degrees. And, this would have been, 5 years ago. And even at that point, thinking about going out and playing golf, it was maybe a bit too hot. It's like, oh, it's 24. That's a bit warm. Maybe down at 18 or 20 degrees is a little bit more manageable. So when you think about 24 is quite hot for our summer, now throw in a 38 and a 36, but also throw that in 5 times over a few months, and throw in the fact that in some places it hasn't rained in over 50 days. It's probably more like 60 days now. So like 2 months worth of no rain and 5 heat waves. I mean, it's just crazy. It is ridiculous. So for us, like I said, with the houses, we're not built for that. And I saw on the news that with all the new housing that's built, where they build the houses with all of that insulation to keep them warm, so the houses keep in all of the heat. But now, because this summer's been so crazy, I saw on the news that they're talking about putting in, as well as the insulation, air conditioning as standard, because it was never built into the new homes because it was never thought that it was ever going to be, too hot in the summer, because 24 degrees isn't that bad. You can survive it if you're in a house that is well insulated. But now if it is going to be 36 and 38, if we're having heat waves every year, then obviously for me it's all right because I'm relatively young and I've got air conditioning. That's the main thing. But for the elderly, that is a danger to life. But also the other thing is the dry weather, and our prime ministers today or yesterday referred to the UK as a tinderbox because we're getting so many fires. And what just boggles my mind is how, and this happened, no rain for 50 days, probably closer to 60 days now, so it means everything is bone dry. And any tiny spark of anything is going to start a fire. And that fire is going to spread crazily. It's going to spread so quickly because everything will just catch fire. And that's what's been happening. And in one of the fires, they found a barbecue, a disposable barbecue set that was found in the woods where the fire originated. So in these conditions, somebody's thought it's a good idea to go and have a barbecue in the woods and just leave it there. So think, we'll put that out and then we'll leave it because it probably won't start a fire. But of course, all you need is for a bit of wind to catch it, a tiny little ember to go into a bit of grass, and then you've got a multi-acre fire on your hands. So I don't get it. Some people, and now they've actually banned the selling of those disposable barbecue sets, and that's the government. They've said we're not selling those anymore. It's going to be illegal because everything is so ready to catch fire and people are idiots. That's the bottom line, is that somebody's thought it would be a good idea to go out and do that. So just crazy situation at the moment with the heat. And how now what is a shame is that the UK can't do it by themselves. Talking about global warming, there are other countries that are hugely I guess bigger. Very bad English, but there are a lot of countries that are a lot bigger than the UK. Even though we're trying to do as much as we can, to reduce carbon emissions and all that stuff, if we went, teetotal and didn't have any carbon emissions, we're such a tiny part of the world. You think, well, if the whole rest of the world keeps doing it, it's not really going to have much of an impact. So the problem is that rather than saying, right, well, let's try to do everything that we can to stop and try and reverse all of this warming going on, the solution is, we're going to put air conditioning in the houses now as well. It's like, but what about when 38 gets to 40 degrees Celsius and 40 becomes 42 and 42 becomes 44? Because, by the way, it's over 2 degrees higher, our kind of record temperature. So you think, well, what happens every year going up 2 degrees? Because that's going to be crazy. So at some point I think something's got to be done about it, but it's going to have to take a worldwide effort rather than just the UK trying to do it. I know other countries are trying as well, but there are other countries that are huge that don't have the same policy and might be putting a lot into the atmosphere, and it's very difficult to recover from that. But anyway, Joe has donated $5 as well, so thank you for that. And the message is, you're a great guitarist, my friend. I've been playing for 30 years and still can't play the way you seemingly effortlessly do. Props. Also, thank you for that, Joe. And, well, I've been playing for 32 years. So, I've been playing a little bit longer but everything is possible. Just it takes practice, and I very much kind of did that in my late teens, early 20s. I think is when I focused on the playing and tried to get it to a particular point, and but then later on my focus was more on the singing side of things, because I thought, I'm kind of happy with the guitar, kind of where I am with that. I didn't really have any desire to kind of play really fast. It's just getting my techniques to a particular point. So thank you for the kind words, Joe. Joe Bangles. So I don't know whether that just happens to be coincidentally that I suppose somebody must be called Joe Bangles somewhere in the world, and maybe this is it. But thank you for that donation. And over on PayPal, we did have a donation that popped in on Thursday. So thank you for this, John. And this was a £5 donation. And there was a straight up donation as well. So thank you for that. Now, how are we doing with this vote? Don't Slow Down has taken the lead. 51% of the vote. Yes, it's pretty close. I can see Angela says, at what age were you when you learned to sing? So that was when I was 27 or 28, around that kind of time. So that's where I'd started the Wings of Pegasus thing. And just decided it was pretty much off the back of holding auditions for a singer. And I think at that point, I hadn't yet decided on the Wings of Pegasus as kind of the band name, or what I call it now, the project name. But it was definitely trying to audition a singer for what I wanted to do, i.e. somebody to sing the songs that were already written. And it just got to a point where I thought, well, it's going to be easier, or it's going to be quicker for me to learn to sing than just keep on auditioning singers. And I don't know whether it might have been the case that because they're your songs, having somebody else to sing them, if I did get a singer, would I have been happy with their style? There was one singer that I auditioned who was very much in the style of heavy metal. So I remember one of the songs that he was singing isn't one that I put on the album or recorded, and it was called Down to the Wire. And the vocal for that, I'm just going to skip this advert as it pops on. The vocal for that, because he had he had a great voice, but he had a heavy metal style to it. So the difference between kind of his voice and then what my voice would turn out to be, once I kind of worked at it and trained and tried to hit pitches accurately, his voice was very much more with the wide vibrato, and what I'd say is kind of bordering on classical technique of, if he's holding a note and he's going, oh, and he's kind of doing that, and he's hitting a note in exactly almost exactly the opposite way that I would do it, because I wouldn't have that that kind of wider vibrato, and I wouldn't I wouldn't lean into it down there. I'd probably have a more of a my voice would naturally kind of sit up there, and more of a kind of head voice he plays. Whether my voice would it is probably what I would have preferred for my own songs anyway. It's probably true, because I think, well, I know that my voice is just my voice, so it obviously once I've worked at it, so it means that my voice is going to sound different to other people's voices, which can only be a positive thing. So that's what I did. I kind of learned to sing, and I spent a very long time practicing hitting pitches, which I know nowadays you can rely on technology to do that for you if you're not as accurate. But I think because I can hear pitches accurately, I've been tuning my guitar to A440 since the age of 11, so I'd already had a lot of time hearing notes and being able to tell when I was sharp and when I was flat, and then it's just kind of zeroing in. And the great thing about technology now is that you can get a pitch monitor and you can sing into that and see how accurate you are on that, so you know if you're slightly above or below the note that you're aiming for. So yeah, technology has moved on. Like back when I was learning to sing, that wasn't something that you could do. So yeah, obviously everyone kind of can determine themselves what they want to work on. I just so happen to artistically want to be able to sing songs and play, and I think I wouldn't be happy kind of just playing the guitar on all of my songs and then having other people do the other bits. It's like, well, yeah, no, I'd rather just kind of do it, kind of get it out there, and then it is what it is, and it makes it really simple for, you know, copyright and contracts and things, because all I need is myself. I'm never going to argue with myself over percentages and obviously the copyright of my songs and publishing, so it's just the simplest way to do it. But anyway, I can see that Micheline has donated $5, so thank you for that in the messages. Hi Phil, have you ever played hide and seek? If so, did you prefer to hide or seek, or both? What's under the chair that you're... Oh, hang on, I can't read the rest of that message. What's under the chair that you're rocking so much? Laugh out loud. So this chair has a swivel function and a lean back function. So yeah, it's just, you know, I've got my foot on the my subwoofer that's underneath the desk. So you know, I'm just pushing against that and moving backwards and forwards. I start making people feel what's it like, seasick from moving so much, but I don't mind it. So have I ever played hide and seek? Yes, I have, and I much prefer hiding, because I always think, no matter how challenging the place that I'm in, I always think there's got to be somewhere where you can hide and people don't know you're there. So my obviously having 3 nephews, my favourite hiding locations are behind... There's actually 2 options for this. Behind curtains, but if you're hiding behind curtains, obviously you don't want your feet to be poking out the bottom of the curtains, because that'll give you away. So if there's a windowsill that you can climb up on and then hide behind curtains, that's something that I like to do. And pretty much you've got a windowsill and curtains in lots of places, lots of houses, so that works quite well. Now my other trick is to open the curtains a little bit and hide behind just the side of the curtains, because I think people just look outside but they don't take it in. They don't think, oh, hang on, if somebody was really trying to hide, and like, I am fortunate in that I think my body's not very big, so if I kind of stand side on, then I can hide. I guess the problem is if I'm exercising, it makes my body a bit wider, so yeah, the resistance training doesn't really help for hide and seek. But anyway, if I were training for hide and seek, I would just go for lots of runs, do like marathon training, so I was really, really skinny, so that I could hide in a lot more places. So yeah, that's a quite good spot. Under the beds, that's kind of a bit obvious, so I think you get found out straight away there. Cupboards could be quite good if you can get behind hanging clothes. Even better if there's a raised bit in the cupboard, you can climb on that and then make sure that nobody can see your feet. Behind doors, that's a classic, especially if you can open the door and hold it against you. So again, this is all about being as slim as you can be, so that the door looks like it's fully open, but there is actually a person behind there. So yeah, lots of different challenges and places to hide, but I always feel quite confident that I can hide somewhere. So yeah, thank you for that particular question, and never been asked about hide and seek before, but this is I know there's some people tuning in. They might be expecting me to be talking about analysis videos. By the way, I'm still editing together the interview, the chat that I had with Joe about AI, because I mentioned that in the last live stream, because we did that last Sunday. And yeah, because we were talking for over 3 hours, I've got to try and cut that down and find pieces that are a bit relevant to each other and make it into a 15-20 minute video. I don't think that's going to happen. It might be like a half an hour video, but even half an hour means that I'm getting rid of over 2.5 hours of other footage. So it's taking me a while to edit that together, but I'll do my best to try and get that out as soon as possible. So yeah, people tuning into the live stream might be expecting me to talk about, last night's video where we had this article with Nikki Sixx saying that, they're doing the same thing as Queen, who used backing tracks. And I was just pointing out that, it's not a favourite thing of mine where people start comparing something that is really reliant on a backing track and in fact has a lead vocal. Anything on a backing track that is a lead instrument or a lead vocal, that's not a backing track anymore. And that's something that Queen, to my knowledge, never did. And even when Freddie Mercury was struggling with his illness, he would still go out and sing live. And it might be the case that he had to change the melody, but he would still try and do everything live. So I think saying that Queen used backing tracks, or at least comparing yourself with Queen, knowing what you do live and knowing what they did live, you think, there's a bit of a push to kind of bridge that gap, because it's a chasm between one thing and the next. So I will point this out when I see it. Now, tomorrow night's video, we are going to be jumping into the cover. But I was going to say, tomorrow night's video, you're going to have to watch that, because I've done videos in the past, and for whatever reason they haven't quite got out there enough for people to understand what is going on, to the point where one of the featured videos tomorrow is somebody saying, the people online who are saying that they are lip syncing or miming are lying. I was there, it was all totally live. And the video that they've uploaded with this comment is a lip synced performance, and it's footage of them recording it at the show. So their proof of it being live is actually proof of it not being live. So look out for that tomorrow night. And I generally give the videos where they are performances and people ask me, what's going on with that particular band live, because I'm thinking about buying tickets, then I do title those as, are you thinking of seeing this band live, because this is what you're paying for. So I'm going to do that with tomorrow night's video, and hopefully it will get out there a little bit more so that it's now understood what people are watching, because obviously people are attending the shows still not knowing. But look out for that tomorrow night, 8 p.m. British summertime, or I should say heatwave time. So let's jump into this cover video. And I didn't even see what it was. It was Johnny Be Good by 1% of the vote. My version of the Back to the Future version. My version of the Back to the Future version. So you'll understand it when we watch it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you after. Rock! Okay, Back to the Future version of Johnny Be Good. Let's do this. Rock!
Back up in the woods among the evergreens, stood a log cabin made of earth and wood. Lived a country boy named Johnny Be Good. He never ever learned to read or write so well.
And there we have it. I'm just grabbing my guitar because we have hit the target of 350 likes. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. If you're watching this on catch up, you can hit the thumbs up as well. It really does help this live stream to get out there, but for the channel to grow on the whole. So we are gonna try and grab the pedals so I can actually get my guitar sounding. Okay, right, that is on. That's on. Oh, laptop, we've got to wake up. Right, now... Oh, it might work out quite well because this is 4 minutes and 16 seconds. So it's a short fill jam and we've got 5 minutes left. So what are the chances? So me blabbering on is not going to be punished. Right, so this is A minor plus harmonic minor, soft piano rock backing track, chord animation for guitar, cello, violin. So it's from Variety Jam backing tracks on YouTube. So I'm listening to this out of a laptop. So as for the levels, can't really do too much about it. It's just trying to update some software that I don't want it to update because I need to access this to try and hear the backing track. Okay, right. I'm going to press play. Hopefully you can hear it. We'll see what happens. Oh, zoom out. Oh, it's a short backing track, so we need the red dude quickly. There he is. So I already zoomed out, I think I was. Can you hear this? Hey! And there we have it. And the reason that I said A is because I finished on the highest note of the whole solo. Obviously totally accidentally. I didn't know that that's exactly that was exactly 4 minutes and 15 seconds of 4 minutes and 16 seconds. So there you go. Almost as if I planned that. So I didn't. It just worked out that way. So that was A minor plus harmonic minor, soft piano rock backing track, chord animation for guitar, cello, violin. And this is from Variety Jam backing tracks on YouTube. So thank you, Joe, for sending that my way. And yeah, I think we are up to date with everything. I just do a double check, but thank you guys. I think the thumbs up so that we could bust out the guitar and have this kind of mellow jam at the end of the live stream. But I'm just going to check that everything is okay. And Mary donated $3, so thank you for that. And it's the pear person doing the big thumbs up. So there we have it. Thank you for that donation. And as I always say, you don't have to donate, but they are very much appreciated. So I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night. Look out for that. And then live streaming again on Tuesday night, of course. So if you could join me then as well, it'll be much appreciated, because then we'll have a new likes goal that we're aiming for, and we will bust out the guitar again if we do hit that target. So all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you guys at tomorrow night's video. See you then. Rock!